All right, this is all right, here I am, little Rhody Model A Club touring with Dean. I'm going to show you something that I've never done before, which is a lot of things, but none of my cars have I ever done the rear emergency brake, putting the new material on. I've done the standard service brakes, I've never done the emergency brake stuff. So what I have is I've already taken the band off of the emergency brakes, and if you look at the band, you can see that it has a material that is riveted on, and it's relatively smooth, and you can see the back of the rivets that go through this metal band, and it's a cloth-like material. And I bought the standard material that does not have holes in it. There's two different types. You can get the type that don't have holes in it. You can get the type that has holes in it. So, but this is the material that does not have holes in it. So you have to drill it. All right. So, since this has holes in it already where the rivets go through, I think you can see that. Where these are, I'm gonna use a punch to show you that, but there's a hole right there. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna use this punch, and I'm gonna go into the back side, and I am gonna punch out each one of these rivets. They're brass rivets. That's all it is. You buy them in a package, and I don't know if you can see that good well or not, but you buy them, and they're unpunched. Obviously you got to set them in. So you have the tool to pop out the old rivets. We'll pull all of this off. I'm going to take a pair of vice grips, and I'm going to vice grip this new material onto the band once this old material is off. Okay, so line it up, put it on, and then I'm going to take my drill with drill bit. I'm going to re-drill the holes all the way around. That's through this material. So this material is going to be sitting on here. It's going to be put on over the top of this band once this is off. And this material will be on. This is the new material. It's going to go on. And I've got to drill this and use a countersink tool that comes with the kit. It's got, you can see that well, but all right. And you pop that into the holes. I'll drill the holes through that material first. Then I'll run this through, and I'll run it down so it cuts a indent into the new material. So I'm countersinking all of the heads of the rivets. Now the rivets have a flat head on them and what I call a shank. So we're gonna put the shank, the head rivet through with the flat part against in the cavity of the part I drill out, and the countersink. And then on the back side we will use a punch that comes with the standard brake set kit. People know these kits. All right, comes like that for installing your brakes, your rivets, and your standard brake shoes. So I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to take this piece off and put this in a vise, and I'm going to freehand with this to sink those rivets in. And that's the plan. Again, I haven't done this before, but it doesn't seem too hard. I think this should be easy enough for any of us to do. I've never done it, never knew how to do it. Quite frankly, all the cars I've ever done, they never showed that they were wore off. The material roughness of the material was gone. Like in this case, it's smooth, but there was plenty of space over the rivets. This one happens to be pretty bad. I don't think there's a right and left of these, and if I'm wrong, somebody let me know. But I think you can put them on either way depending on what side you're putting it on. I don't think it matters. I think it's more about the mechanical things in here more than it is than anything, how it attaches to the inside. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, then I'll take a picture of this when it's done. We'll install it onto the backing plate over the top of the rear backing plates. Have the original service brake shoes, and then it has this housing that goes inside, slides in through the original backing plate and sits on top of it. So it has this, plus behind it would be the service brake stuff. So anyway, we're gonna play with this and see if we can figure this out. Again, haven't done it before. I looked at buying this stuff with pre-drilled holes. To be honest with you, it was like $69 versus $30-some, and I had this from a job that I never completed 30 years ago. So we're gonna do this first and see how it works out. So if it doesn't work out, I'll be buying different stuff. But again, there's like 2 or 3 different types of this material. I think there's 2 or 3 different types of this actual band, and then the material has to be drilled a certain way to go on that band. There's different, I guess, different hole setups, distances and stuff like that, but we're going to drill our own. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so stay tuned. We're going to work on this thing, and as I go, I'll take stuff and videos of it, and we'll put it all together in one lump sum before we post it. Okay, so stay tuned. First things first, you can see the rivets in the band. So this is what holds this lining on, and you're going to see, whoop, so you can see that rivet, you can see what it looks like, and I'm going to put this into that rivet, and I'm going to pound it out through the spacing that I have in this piece of hardware right here. So as I'm taping this stuff, I'm forgetting how to talk here, but anyway, I got a vise here. I got the vise spaced yeah, roughly probably 3/8 of an inch, and I've got the head of the rivet on the other side is going to go through that space as I pound this thing through. So let me give it a shot. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. I got just a regular hammer and a small punch, and we're going to do this the first time and see if we do it. Like I say, line the hole up with that, and let's see what happens. Right. I think I got to make the space a little bigger here. Make the space a little bigger, that's all. Come on. There you go. Let's see what happens. Okay. Alright, so what's going on here? The head of the rivet came through, and this one didn't work the way I wanted it to work. We'll see what we can do. Hang on, let's see what happens here. Okay, so the head of the rivet came through, as you can see. Alright, I don't know if you can see that well. Let me take the camera here, I can show you a little better, but okay, so the head of the rivet came through, and all right, popped out this side. So we're going to go along and we're going to pop each one of these out as I go, all right, until I get all of them popped out and the band completely removed. Okay, so stay tuned while I do some more here. Okay, so hang on. Drop my little tool here. Let me grab my tool here. All right, so we'll grab another one. Alright, let's see what we got here. So we'll take another one right here. Try to do them all in kind of a row here. Let's see what else I got. There's one there. So let's take this one. I put it against my belly. Put the punch in the center of the rivet. Yep. That one's popped out. And I just go right down the line. And I try to pop these out the same side. They're not in the center of the band, so you can kind of turn the band around a little bit to get that out. But some of these are harder. When I did the one for the regular service brake one day, hopefully I'm not making these things too big, but when I did the service brake one day, I had the let's see if I get this out real quick. I can pop the rivets out. But I very easily popped these things out the way I wanted them to come out. It wasn't that hard to do. It's something anybody can do, really. So just gotta, and you know, maybe this isn't the right way to do it, but you know, so you can see how that would just pop right through pretty easy. Pop them out. Just keep going down the line. I turn it so I have it the same side. So like I say, they alternate sides for where the rivets are. They're not all down the middle of the band, but you know, pop right out nice, quick and easy, and just keep going down, reversing the sides, and yep. This might be the original rivets in this one, I don't know. Yeah, pop them right out. Like I say, just keep going down the whole thing until you get the whole thing de-riveted, and you'll be in good shape before you know it. And then it's just a matter of getting the new material, putting the new material on with vice grips to start, just to get it started. And then we'll have to figure out where the holes will go. And the MARC drill the holes with the drill to get the drill set up in the right spot, and then so we have the lining will have the proper hole spacing, and we'll be in good shape. So bear with me while I pop these out all the way down, and hopefully take the band off. I suggest don't wear a clean shirt, because it won't be clean for very long if you do. Particularly in this case, I think this one might have had some oil or something on the pad, leaking inside the drum or something. I don't know, but once you get it popped, then the whole, you can see the lining, the whole lining's coming off now, so I'm almost there. Like I say, they're only copper, I believe. So as you can see, got a couple more here. I think I got to pop one more, I think. Once I get that off, I can show you the lining. It'll come right off. Take that right out and follow me. So I'll come right over here for a minute, and you can see what I've done here. So I now have the lining is disconnected from the belt. The band. Okay, so here's your band. It's a metal band with all the holes in it. Okay, and next job is to put on a new lining. Okay, you can see how this was really rough shape. The trick is to drill these holes through this lining, which is very, very thin, without drilling all the way through. So, all right, stay tuned, and let's see if we can set this thing up for the next stage. All right, so hold on. Stage 2. We're going to take our lining, over here, brand new lining, and our band, and there are 2 rivets on the edge, and then there are alternating sides rivets across the top of this thing. And we are going to take a little bit of sandpaper, I think, and we're going to scuff this real quick because I want to make this a little bit smoother, so bear with me. I don't have a sandpaper, but I'll just use maybe a quick file here just to kind of make sure we don't have any rough stuff on here that's going to make anything lift. I think we're in good shape. Just want to make sure we don't get nothing that's going to affect the edging and stuff of this thing. Yeah, looks good. All right. Looks good. Looks decent. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a pair of vice grips. We're going to take the new material, and we're going to put the new material over the edge. All right, we're going to start there, and we're going to make it even with the edge. And then I'm going to take some vice grips, and I'm just going to start by just ever so lightly vice gripping that to the edge and making it even, and then going down to get this thing started. Okay, we're going to start like that. Some people probably tell you should start with the first part of it. It should be a little bit longer, so I'm going to have to trim it to make it work on the back side of this thing. So we're not going to go all the way. But I have my drill ready, and I am going to start with the second hole, and I'm going to drill that one first. Make sure this is nice and tight. And we're going to drill the first hole. I'm going to drill from the side for which the thing is on. Okay, yeah, done. All right, so I made that one first. I got a hole through. Okay, that's where we got that one first. Now, let's see if I can get a couple of these done, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to install rivets in them. So I got another one here, down here. Go to this side, I'm going to drill that one. Okay. All right, we're going to go to that. I'm going to start with. I'm going to switch over to my burnishing tool, my cutting tool, and again, I'm going to make sure this is clean. I used it for my other shoes already for my service brake, so I want to make sure I get this nice and clean for this side. All right, let's leave this out for a minute, and let's see if we can make this work this way. Again, never done this before, but you can do it too. So if I can do this, you can do it too. So let's make sure this works. All right, I know I've got 2 holes here. I'll pull this down. I'm going to take another set of vice grips. I'm going to make sure that's nice and tight. Find the second hole, and I'm going to put this right after the second hole. Yeah. So it holds everything tight. That's nice and tight. And then I'm going to drill those in. I got one right here. I'm going to do first. Okay, you can see it, but I'm drilling the hole in. Yeah. Yeah, I would keep it centered and lined up on the. Now, if I do the ones in the middle and not do the ones on the sides, on the very front, then I can always trim them back on the back side. So I've made an indentation here for that to go into. All right, I'm gonna go a little bit further. Might be a little deeper. All right, and we're gonna take one of my rivets. I'm gonna take a rivet here. All right, hang on. I'll put my rivet set out there. So I got a rivet. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a rivet. Okay, and we'll put that rivet into that space that I just indented. So I just hollowed it out and made an indented spot for that rivet to go in. And we'll put that rivet in that hole. Okay, I'm gonna try to push it in with my thumb if I can. And it should line right up. And we should go right in. Now these brakes, they're not made to be, not made to stop the car. They're made to hold the car in place. So I don't think these have to be too concerned with being worrying about the rivets being really countersunk deep because the material is thin. But I think you have to worry about them not hitting. But again, they're not made to be anything more than that rivet don't want to go in, more than just holding the car in place. So we shouldn't be using these to. Oh, it's going in. It's going in. I can feel it. So anyway, yeah, it goes that way, right? Yeah, it's gonna go this way a little bit more, I guess. Gotta get all that material out of the way. So let me just use the drill just for a second to kind of space it to get in here to kind of. There it goes. Gotta make the hole big enough for the rivets to go through. So you can see now that's countersunk in there. But you don't want to go crazy because you can go right through this material all the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tool now, and we're going to go over to the table. Okay, I'm going to sit you right here for a minute. And see if I can pull this off with no problem at all. Let me just bring you down a bit. I'll bring you over here. Okay, I've got the this is part of my other tool there. So I'm going to pop that in here like this. I'm going to take I put the back end of the rivet and this and through the indentation to hold the rivet in place, and then I put this whole thing together like this with my body here. And what we'll do is just make sure that's in the right spot. There's a little indentation on this, and that's going to go in the back of the rivet, which is, the rivets are hollow, and we're just going to, okay? And then if you look at that rivet is now countersunk. And I'll show you here in a second here. Okay, so if you look at this, you can see it's now countersunk in the hole, and I'll just have to clean that up a little bit, but I go all the way around, and that will hold this whole thing in place. All right, so that's the plan here. So we've done a couple of them here now, so I've got another one here that I can do real quick. I think I've drilled already, haven't I? Yeah, I drilled another one here. So I got a second one that's drilled. So we'll take our drilling tool, and I'm gonna go in here to make sure clean this stuff off so it cuts correctly, because it gums up the drill bit a little bit. So we'll put this back on, go into the second hole that I've drilled. All right, go down and make a, like I say, don't go too deep. Just want to go enough to create a counter sink. Okay, so that's all we're trying to do, create a counter sink. And not, because you go through too deep, then yeah, you've ruined the ability for the thing to hold. So there you go, you got your hole, right? Then you want to grab, so you see that, you got another counter sink, right? You had the first one that we put in. Then we're going to grab another one, and we're going to grab our thing here, make sure we got a nice clean hole for that to go in. We're going to pop our head of our rivet through, okay? And then we're going to head back over here for a minute. Should have multiple cameras set up, but I don't. I'm going to go here. I'm going to pop that back in the same spot. Put my flaring tool. Flares the back of my rivet. You can hear when that thing hits rock bottom here. So there you go. So it's together, and I'll pound these things back down even more as I go along. But so as you can see, I've now countersunk some of these in, okay, and I'll tighten these up a little bit more as I go along. I get the rest of them in, but we'll go all the way around, drilling all of these holes, okay? Yep. Okay. Drilling all of these holes as they go all the way around until they come all the way to the other side, and then we'll finish with taking this one, right? Drilling them in, and filing these back, and this one will have to be cut because it's a little bit longer once we get all this way around. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then I will come back to you and show you what the finished result looks like. Okay, so hang on. This is a lot of fun. I was worried about not doing this right and everything, but it actually turned out to be fun. So I'm going around, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to refasten all this stuff when I'm done. Just go over the top of these rivets to make sure they're nice and tight. But I'm getting them. I'm getting them around, and the fear of drilling these things too deep, that's the only thing I worry about, because it's not thick material. But when you think you've gone, haven't gone far enough, stop there, test the rivet, and then judge from there how much more you want to go before you try to drill a hole too deep and end up drilling all the way through. So again, these rivets won't hold anything if you go all the way through this outside material. And then maybe if you did that, you could probably put some kind of maybe Permatex, I don't know, some kind of maybe a glue or something to help hold it down between these rivets. The rivets are roughly 1.5 to 2 inches apart, so maybe you could do that if you had to. I don't know, but I'm going erring on the caution side of it, not going too deep. I think I'm deep enough. Again, this is not a surface that's going to run on the rim on the drum. I don't think. I think it's just something when you're stopped, you put it in there. It's got to be rough and enough to hold it in place. I mean, God forbid. I mean, if you had to use it as a stopping device, if your brakes went for whatever reason, I would, you know, wouldn't be a problem with doing that either. But it seems like the one I took off was more grease And these are ones I picked up as an extra set to rebuild, so it's not, didn't come off my car, but they seemed like they were more impregnated with grease and stuff like that. I tried to wash them off, and then I found that the surface was not really good. So I don't know, you know, play it by ear and make the judgment call as you go along. So anyway, I'm gonna keep going here. So I'll work on probably half done now. So screaming at the screen here right now and saying, you know, you're a moron for the way you're doing this, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, but to be honest with you, it was kind of fun. So I don't know. So, and if I had to, if I really screwed up and I had to do this again, buy the new stuff, I'm not beyond doing that. And like I say, you might be screaming at the screen right here, calling me an idiot, moron, or all those good names, and you might be right. In fact, I would find that probably entertaining. But anyway, not that I want to start anything from that, but this seems to work pretty good. So I would just say, if I can do this, you can do it too. I see nothing wrong with anything I've done so far. The other thing too is, you know, this thing comes with this tool you put in the vise. This is trash. That doesn't even fit around the shoe right when you go to put for the service things. I took I didn't use that. I just took the base out of it, which is the hardened metal that holds the bottom of the rivet, the face of the rivet, and I put that just straight in the vise itself. And then I put the shoe on top of it, put the whole thing against my belly, and then I freehand with the tool that rolls the end of the rivet over. That's how it works. Otherwise, you're in there, you're going cockeyed, you can't go in straight, you mess up the rivet, you get half the rivet, the peen's over, half that doesn't. That's the service brake side. I can see this would be the same damn thing. So, like I say, take it from my thing, just put that aside, freehand it, come in as straight as you can, set it up on your belly in the vise, sitting on top of that thing so you can squarely hit it, and then go over it later on. And instead of, because you're coming in on angles to hit these rivets, just go in from the opposite angle and give it a couple of taps too, just so it takes that head of that rivet that's going through this this indented area, and it'll get it to level out so it's not on any kind of an angle. That's what I would do. But anyway, I don't know if I said it. If you can like and subscribe, that would be awesome. Appreciate all my followers. We're getting up there on some followers now. It's a lot of fun. So we're gonna do little technical things too. I do some technical stuff for the Rhody Model A Club, including besides the touring stuff. So anyway, you get to see me working on my cars too. So when I'm out driving around, I'm not crashing into people and causing trouble. But so stay tuned. But like I say, like and share, comment all you want, and I appreciate you following me along. All right, thanks. So hang on, we'll have another section here in a minute. Almost there. Holy Christ! Yeah. I still think this is a project you could do. Do one of these a day. There'd be no problem at all to do this. It'd be fun to do. It would be fun to do. We'll see how it goes on the car. Hopefully there's not a right and left, because maybe I just did. Maybe I did the wrong side. I was taking it apart. Well, I'm doing both anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. But I wonder if these bands are the same for either side. I don't know. We'll find out. A couple more screws and I'll be at it. So a couple more screws, a couple more rivets, and I'll be done here. So stay tuned. All right. So all the way around, okay? That's what I did. New material on the whole thing. On these edges, I took Mr. Raspy, and I filed those edges so there wouldn't be a tight cut, sharp cut there to grab. Double rivets on the ends. I'm going to go over the rivets one more time just to kind of center them and stuff, but I did just kind of a quick, let's get the edges of these things kind of narrowed off so they're not such sharp so they don't catch anything. All right, so that's what I did. So I don't know, I think you guys can do that. That's my first shot at it. So I guess I got no excuse now for all of my cars to get these, because none of my cars have rebuilt ones. But again, I want to find out if these are the right and left sided. But this material that came off here is pretty rough. All right, the old rivets and everything in it, but this has like no nothing to it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the series. Something quick and easy I did. Never did it before. I don't usually like to video stuff I've never done before, but I figured this one couldn't be that hard, right? And like I say, if I can do it, you can do it, and this is clearly something that could be done by you. I mean, it's about $72 for pre-drilled. Of course, you gotta have the riveting kit. You know, the regular riveting kit tool in order to do what I did. So there's a cost there, but the pre-drilled stuff is $70-some for this. The non-drilled stuff, $33. If you're doing brakes anyway, you have the other stuff, so you can do it. So hey, like, subscribe. Thank you for watching my video. Little Rhody Model A Club, touring with Dean, little tech series thing for you to watch, and got a big tour coming up 2 weeks from today. So stay tuned and enjoy, and like and subscribe. Like I said, appreciate all your support. Thank you. Take care.